Astro Aqua Kitty. Say that 3 times fast. The newest title from the ever-reliable TIKIPOD Ltd. If you're unfamiliar with their work, then well, look no further than this channel, as I've covered 2 of their previous titles, having reviewed Boshers DX and Crypticle respectively. The game is currently available on PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, and Nintendo Switch, with Xbox One and Steam versions coming in a couple of months. The version played in this review is the PS4 version. So, will Astro Aqua Kitty further TIKIPOD's solid library of fun and challenging titles, or have they coughed up a furball? Let's find out. The story is rather basic. As it's a spin-off from Aqua Kitty, the milk and mining crew, or the company, find themselves in outer space. The player assumes the role of a 2-person crew as they traverse through the strange underwater locales that they've stumbled upon, investigating strange ancient artifacts, battling the local hostile wildlife, running into bunny pirates, all whilst saving other kitties and trying to save their snacks. Oh, and to find treasure, of course. But the snacks come first. The game world of Astro Aqua Kitty is full of wonderful pixel art. TIKIPOD, in my opinion, always deliver in terms of their art style. The game looks as though it would have been right at home on, say, the Sega Saturn, a console renowned for its 2D titles. The character portraits are well drawn, full of character, and absolutely fit the aesthetics of the game. Friendly and not so friendly sprites also look great with some good animation, which also includes the ship the player will be piloting. Obviously, the wrong-uns you'll find yourself facing constantly really do stand out with some memorable designs, but it's the bosses themselves that really stand out. Nothing feels over-designed, everything has purpose. Getting back to the stages, each individual stage looks and feels different, with colour palettes changing as well as the background art itself, with some levels having unique objects to use, such as these gem-fueled laser beams. All in all, there's truly a nice amount of polish here, with the developer's style as charming as ever. TIKIPOD games have always nailed it in the sound department, and Astro Aqua Kitty does not disappoint. Sound effects are crisp and impactful, which just absolutely enhance the experience. Destroying enemies is deeply satisfying because of this, with the larger enemies emitting a gloriously delayed explosion. With the weapons available to you all sounding unique as well. As expected, the soundtrack is really damn good. I expect nothing else from Electric Cafe, quite honestly. And quite honestly, I expect nothing else from Electric Cafe. It's wonderfully nostalgic, complementing the gameplay as well as containing a few cues that harken back to the 4th generation of consoles, particularly the Amiga. I mean, it wasn't a console, but you understand what I mean, shut up. The music stage to stage stands out on its own, and nothing really bleeds together to feel too samey. And if anything, it really helped me to just sit back and enjoy the ride. I can absolutely see myself listening to certain tracks outside of the game, with the boss theme standing out head and shoulders above the rest. I'm an absolute sucker for a great boss track, and I'm always bitterly disappointed when larger games fail to get this right. But the track here, named Leviathan, perfectly accompanies boss encounters, further enhancing the difficult and fun battle. It's music like this that will have me sat there, quietly focusing and totally in the moment. You should absolutely play Astro Aqua Kitty with a good set of headphones. And like I said, it's just more great work from Electric Cafe. Now we're talking. The main course. The game borrows mechanics of bullet hell shooters along with RPG elements, complete with a leveling up system, plenty of items to acquire, from health, shield and weapon power-ups to brand new weapons and abilities. So let's just get straight into this. When you start a new game, you'll be given the chance to customize your ship's crew. You can select one pilot and one engineer for your journey. Now, both pilots and engineers have stats, and this allows the player to customize their experience and tinker with different combinations, and if you can't decide, then there's always just a randomized crew option. There are 4 of each to choose from. For the pilots, we have the Heavy, who sacrifices speed for armor, the Scout, more agile but with less health, Chaos, perfect for heavy weapons due to their recharge rate, and the Fighter, an all-rounder due to his veteran status. And on the engineering side, we have Repair, who focuses on patching up the ship, Defense, grants defensive bonuses to your ship, Gadget, all-round good stats but with fancy tech, and Energy, the bestest boy who's full of energy. Personally, I started by using the Scout and Defense pilot and engineer respectively. I always like being a bit faster in this type of game, being able to weave out of the way projectiles, plus the engineer would help me boost my defense, so win-win. Once you've selected your crew, there are also a whopping 5 difficulty settings to choose from, as well as a permadeath option. Coupled with the different crews you can put together, this really does add a surprising amount of replay value to the game. And it all runs at a wonderful pace. Combat is fast, responsive and fun. Even when it does go full bullet hell, there doesn't seem to be an instance of feeling completely overwhelmed. And if, or not so when, you're hit, it never feels cheap or unfair, only reminding you to be more careful with your surroundings. It's absolutely a tough but fair challenge later in the game. Additionally, I'm eternally grateful enemy projectiles are primarily a different colour or shape to yours. I was initially concerned when I discovered you have to push a separate button to make your ship turn its facing direction. However, this never actually becomes a problem. If anything, it feels quite natural. And the ship controls pretty damn good for the most part as well, and is easy to maneuver. It's honestly quite exciting when you successfully weave through a group of enemies, rockets or projectiles. The aforementioned difficulty increases per stage, with stage 3 being the first that really feels as though you're at constant risk, with the first 2 stages easing the player into the gameplay mechanics. Plus, to help keep gameplay fresh, new enemies are introduced that accompany the theme of the stage. Each stage contains a main objective and, most times, some side quests, the latter of which don't need to be completed but will reward the player with a choice of 3 upgrades or weapons for your ship. You begin the game with a very basic projectile, but will quickly find yourself picking up an arsenal of weaponry, all of which can be used effectively in different situations. And while I wasn't fond of some of them, doesn't mean that other players won't enjoy them. Each weapon also drains a specific amount of energy from your meter, so it's important to keep an eye on that. It does stop you from just pulling out your hardest hitting weapon constantly, but you'll definitely find yourself bringing them back out again for boss fights. There's one thing I really enjoy about this game is that it always feels as though you're improving your arsenal and your ship, something that is only furthered by the leveling up system. Defeating enemies will see you gaining experience, and once you've advanced to that next level, your ship and energy bar will return to maximum, which can really help you get out of some particularly sticky situations. You will also gain a skill point, so once you've gained that level, head straight to one of these docking stations so you can spend that skill point on one of the 10 special abilities available to unlock, which change depending on the pilot and engineer. However, you can only equip up to 4 of these abilities at a time, so choose wisely, or switch them out if you fancy it. You can also spend gems you've acquired on either your health, defense, or energy stats. You can only level up your stats to your current level, so don't go thinking you can just grind for gems, as it won't make a lick of difference unless you gain the required levels. Plus, you'll also want to spend these gems at the docking shop to purchase weapons and items. You can also save your game at these docking stations, and I would advise that you do so whenever you pass them and as much as possible. Otherwise, you'll make a silly mistake like I did and find yourself having to replay most of the stage again. Due to this sense of progression, there are satisfying moments when brand new enemies of subsequent stages have been an absolute pain to defeat. Enemies that can take you down in seconds are, all of a sudden, easily dispatched by a brand new weapon you've picked up or are now able to use having met the level requirements. It keeps you hunting for treasure chests hidden throughout the stages, and I have great fun in using brand new weapons. However, these all have differing stats and bonuses, so make sure you check before equipping, otherwise you might find that your newer version doesn't contain armor-piercing rounds. I found that out the hard way. At the end of each stage, you'll need to tackle the stage boss. Each battle is fun and challenging, bar maybe be the first two. Latter fights will need the utmost of concentration. But, again, despite the increase of difficulty, they never feel unfair or become frustrating, and thanks to the sound design and music, these individual battles can be quite exhilarating. As mentioned earlier, the game steadily increases in difficulty as you get further into the game, and the final two stages are no exception. These are really bloody hard. Real old school difficulty here. In stage 7 there are less save points around the stage, and it's not even easy to return to them like previous stages, as these organic doors will close behind you. But you'll quickly adapt and overcome, just like every other challenge in the game, and I keep harking on about this, but it still doesn't feel like a way to artificially extend the game. Speaking of which, my first playthrough clocked in at around 6 hours, a perfect length for this type of experience, and pretty damn long considering the price. And if you're a trophy hunter, then you'll be pleased to know obtaining them all is relatively straightforward and absolutely possible on your first playthrough. Quite honestly, I had serious difficulty putting this down. It really has that just one more level appeal to it, and I can't wait to play it again with a completely different crew. The game looks great with colourful and well-drawn characters, charming pixel art, engaging and fun gameplay, a great soundtrack, a vast array of weapons to choose from, and some absolutely cracking boss fights. Astro Aqua Kitty is currently priced at £9.99, and for that price, it's definitely worth the purchase. If you're a fan of the genre, have liked what you've seen in this video, or have enjoyed the dev's past work, then check this out for yourself. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Honestly, it's more great stuff from TIKIPOD. So, have you played the game already? If so, then let me know what you think below. And, of course, if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and then go and give me a follow on Twitch so you can, laugh at me freaking out over horror games. But, as always, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, until next time, stay safe, and I will catch you all later.